Well, I'm here at the Nevion stand here at NAB 2016. I've got Olivia with me. Hello, Olivia.
Hi.
Now, there's a big move towards IP these days. It's everywhere now. You can see it at NAB. What's Nevion's position regarding this move towards IP?
Well, I think we've been 20 years in business, so we're celebrating our 20 years. And of those 20 years, something like 13 or 15 have been us promoting IP. We've been at the forefront of IP in contribution. We've did our first contribution network sometime around 2003, I believe. So we've been in the IP business for quite a while.
Yeah.
What we're seeing this year is that IP is finally making it in the studio. It's been in the distribution, it's been on the contribution, and there's been that bit in the middle that was firmly baseband. But IP is happening in the studio, and that's really what we're pushing. We've been talking about it for quite a few years now. Now people want to know how it works, how it's going to work, how it's going to fit with baseband. We have been involved in the Live IP project that you may have heard of from the VRT, and that's been an excellent opportunity to get vendors working together and showing that it can be done, including a live broadcast, as you may have seen as well.
And obviously with IP, there's a sort of a natural move towards virtualization again. How are you guys, you taking a lead in this? What's your role in this?
Well, that's an excellent question. We're now at the point where IP is not a if, it's really a when. And in the same way as we've been forward-looking in terms of IP, we're now looking at when IP happens, which is very soon, this opens up a whole new opportunity. And the obvious opportunity that we've seen in pretty much every other industry and even in other parts of the broadcast industry is virtualization and cloud computing. Now, within live production, we have a big issue, which is latency. So the concept of cloud as we know it in the internet, that's not going to fly. But a lot of the concepts are still applied. The idea of virtualizing infrastructure, so pooling infrastructure together. So instead of having little pieces of equipment in each and every studio, you can pool it in a central location and start using that centralized piece of equipment, for example, embedding, de-embedding, maybe as part of clean switching, all those things within a virtualized infrastructure. The other area of virtualization that we see is the fact that we're moving progressively towards IT standard platforms. Honestly, right now, it's not ready for live broadcast. But already we're seeing kind of specialist platforms which are software upgradable. And that's where it's heading. That's where it's heading. So we think that the media functions, as we call it, the functionality that's delivered and expected, is going to go software and will need to be upgradable. So for example, to give a simple example, you might have a JPEG 2000 media node for compression, and for one particular broadcast, you want a higher compression rate, so you want to go to H.264. So ideally what you want is not to have to swap the hardware, but actually just swap the software and say, okay, I'll license the H.264 for the next 2 hours because that's what I need, and then I'll revert back to my JPEG 2000. So that's sort of the area of virtualization we're talking about. An important role in that is the whole orchestration, because obviously you need to be able to route through the virtualized infrastructure, and you need to be able to update all these media nodes. So management is going to play a big part of that virtualization story.
Well, you guys are you're looking to lead the way in here, and you're obviously showing a lot this year at NAB. What sort of things are you showing this year?
Well, we're showing products, of course, but I guess in a way the biggest message we have is about interoperability, because we were one of the founding members of AIMS, the Alliance for the Promotion of Standards, IP standards within production, and I think that alliance as of today has something like 30 members, and pretty much all the major providers are there. So one thing we're showing here is a lot of interoperability. We have a camera from Grass Valley just behind us there. We have, in the demo that's happening behind me, we're using Cisco switches, we're using Arista switches. So we're working with people in the industry because that's what the industry wants. So that's a big push for us today. We're obviously also showing a lot of equipment. So we're showing a lot of new converters between IP, baseband and IP, because obviously we need to integrate the baseband equipment into the IP core. We're showing our NX4600, which is an H.264 media node that provides the compression for example, for contribution. We're also showing our CP4400, which is the multiplexer with a very high density for distribution. And the star of the show, again, for us this year is really the management network, the video iPath. Because as I've said, it scans everything, it covers everything from the studio to the contribution to the distribution, and will play a key part in virtualization.
Fascinating, Olivier, talking to you as always. If people want to come and see you, obviously they can come over the next couple of days if they haven't been able to see you and they want to find out more. Is there a website they can go to?
There is a website, and it's nevion.com.
Olivier, thank you very much. Go and have a look at their website. We'll put the link on screen for you now. Find out everything you need to know from these guys at Nevion. You want to find out more from NAB 2016, you'll find that at our website. That's kitplus.com.